Hi, today is the 26th of May. The day after my birthday. We'll see how it goes today. Hi, welcome. Long time no see. Hello, Erin. I haven't seen you forever. How the heck are you? Oh, I need to write that down. Where's my pen? Alrighty-roo. Hello, hello. Edit. I haven't done that one yet. They are so good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. My family is good, mostly. It was a rough weekend last weekend, but we're good. So, yeah. How are you doing? How was life? Why was it rough? Just emotional. There's a lot of like things happening in our life, and the kids are just, and it's like the end of school. Claire did not want school to be over, and she was like being super sassy, and I was getting a little bit triggered. I haven't gotten that triggered for like a really long time, but there was a little bit of yelling and some disagreements, and then long story short, everything worked out, and yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I learned a lot this weekend, so it's all good. So, you yell? Are you kidding me? She ended up going, wait, did she end up going back? Yes, so when we moved last year, so we moved exactly like a year and 2 months ago-ish, heavy on the ish. Yeah, so she had cousins going to the same school, so she was like a lot more willing to try out like school again, which was really good. But and then we had to wait like the entire summer to go to school again. It was a really long summer because we moved in March, and so like the kids were home and blah 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 all summer plus 2 months. So it was like literally 5 months of summer for the kids last year, which was exhausting for my husband because I was working a lot. And yeah, anyways, long story short, she finally went last fall, and she's loved it, and she was literally crying. She's like, I don't want school to end. I'm so sad. It was really, really cute. Yeah, he's been a trooper. They've been really hard lately just because they're just growing up, and they have a lot of sass, and they're like at stages where they don't listen. So it's just really crazy. Yeah, so yeah, No, that's the thing. I don't yell like a lot. I can get like super stern, like listen to me or else. Anyways, he just stays home. He wants to work. He does want something, but because I don't know, he actually would prefer to do our YouTube channel. So we actually started a YouTube channel a couple months back, and it's been really good, but he wants to monetize it so that we can have more kids. Maybe one more kid, we'll see though. I know, it's crazy. Practice sitting and not leaning back in the chair all the time. Practice listening. We practiced sitting, not leaning back in the chair all the time. I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry. Like listening to our kids? Is that what you're saying? Because we're really working on that. That's something that we're trying to be more considerate about with our kids. So anyways, I make my kids, practice. You make your kids practice that. That's a really good idea. We actually don't go to church anymore, and so that's something that we definitely need to practice. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to like beat into them that they need to be quiet when we say, like, they need to have their own. Anyways, yeah. So let's get to it. Hold on, I gotta hurry. Floss my popcorn out of my teeth. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so let's get started. We are just, thank you. I really appreciate that. We're gonna get started by having, if you want to enter to win, just click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. And then just a reminder, we're only doing new people today. Yeah, so some of my kids, for some reason, just shut down at like when they feel certain things, and they just like don't talk. Like they not necessarily go silent, but they get physical. Does that make sense? Which is really frustrating because we're like, tell me what you want, but they won't. So that's when we have to like calm ourselves down and then try and help them. It's really hard though. It's really hard. She's been really spicy. Anyways, let's see. What can I expect with a session with you? I'm totally interested. Awesome. So if you scheduled the introductory session, let's see, I'm trying to think. Yeah, if you schedule the introductory session, basically what happens is we're just going to talk for a minute. I'm just going to ask you some questions. It's mostly just me asking a few questions, so I know how to like help you the most, and then you'll get a little mini session, and then right after that we're going to do, I'm just going to go over some different packages and prices, and based on your needs, because everybody's so different. There are some people who need like 1 or 2 sessions and they're like, I'm good. And then there's other people who need like 6, 12, 24 sessions. It just depends on what you need and actually the symptoms that you're dealing with. So, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Teaching my little cousin to use words. Oh, we already said that. I'm really been very frustrated today. I totally get that. So, all right. Oh, somebody asked, why do you need another kid? That's none of your business. Just kidding. I don't know. Kids are awesome. I love my kids. Actually, that is a very personal question. Why do we want more kids? Why do we need another kid? I don't necessarily know that we have to have another kid, but we do want, well, I want one more kid, but that's it. How long have you been doing this? I have been certified since 2018. Why would you ask that? It isn't their business, though. That is correct. I don't mind answering, though. Can't have kids, I have birds instead. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, okay, let's go ahead and we will pick somebody. Let's see. Thank you for following. Pet kids are awesome too. Oh my gosh. So we got a dog. And we didn't realize how hyper he would be all the time. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's crazy. It's so crazy. All right, let's pick a person. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, picking somebody. I have confetti at the ready. You don't need to do that. All right, Andrea Wern. I don't know how to pronounce that. Andrea Wern. Welcome, welcome. That water bottle is amazing. I know. I believe it's like a 42 ounce or a 40 ounce. Yeah, it's a 40 ounce. It's massive, but I love it. It makes it so I don't have to fill up my water bottle a lot. If I worked like in an office or like I had to move a lot, I would probably have a smaller one. But what do you do? New here. Okay, let me introduce myself. Let's see. Andrea Wern. Oh, there you are. Hello. Let's go ahead and how about you tell me what it is that you want to work on, and then I'll do an explanation, and then I love that. I'm gonna screenshot that. Wow, my words today, they are gone. I got a lot of squirrels today, so we'll have fun today. Andrea, okay, first, Andrea, how about you tell me what you want to work on, and then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate it? And then we'll go from there. But let's do a little bit of an explanation of what it is that we do here, just so everybody knows, and we'll get to it. So, excuse me. So, hello. My name is Kirsten Morley, your certified emotion code and body code practitioner. Basically what we're going to be doing here is what is called the emotion code. And the emotion code is an energy healing technique that helps us to identify and literally release negative trapped emotional energies from your body. Trapped emotions are harmful emotional energies from negative past events, and trapped emotions, I believe, can cause anxiety, depression, PTSD, headaches, back pain, lower back pain, so like physical discomfort, gut issues, reproductive system issues, nervous system issues, immune system issues, literally anything. I believe it can cause anything. And then because these trapped emotions are made of energy, just like the rest of the body, it can exert an influence on the physical tissues, again, causing physical discomfort or pain. And then So literally physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain or discomfort, disconnection, feeling love, feeling a lack of love, and all of that. So releasing these trapped emotions from you using muscle testing and your governing meridians. Basically, you just release the trapped emotions and you feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually speaking. So releasing the trapped emotions makes conditions right for your body to heal itself. So once you release the trapped emotion, you feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually speaking. So the physical, mental, or emotional issues or difficulties often disappear completely, or it becomes a lot more manageable. So that is the gist of the emotion code. So one thing I do like to talk about is the heart wall. So the heart wall is basically made up of trapped emotions. And what is it? So if you have any of these 10 symptoms, you probably have a heart wall. I don't diagnose people. I don't diagnose. I'm not medically licensed to do that. So you just come to me with a symptom, we release trapped emotions, and then see what happens. So there are some people that deal with anxiety, for example, and it starts at an 8, and then within like a 10-minute session, sometimes it can go from like an 8 to a 4, cutting it in half, and then, depending on how many sessions it takes to either make it go away completely or it becomes a lot more manageable. Does that make sense? So yeah. Anyway, so the heart wall, if you have any of these 10 symptoms, you probably have a heart wall. Anxiety, depression, PTSD, low energy, fatigue, major health issues, foggy mission in life, relationship issues. So like this is like giving and receiving love, and then abundance and wealth issues. If you have any of those 10 symptoms, then you probably have a heart wall. So what is a heart wall? A heart wall is when we go through trauma or abuse or a breakup, a divorce, literally anything that is causes like severe trauma, or even just like a really, really stressful day. Heart walls are made of trapped emotions. These trapped emotions, again, when we go through that hard time or that abuse or trauma, our body has an energetic self-defense mechanism to protect your heart, because your heart is the most important organ in the body. Without your heart, you're not getting blood to your toes or your brain or anything else for that matter. So once you go through this trauma, your body like scoops up those emotions and places layers over your heart, creating a wall. And so during the trauma, it's good to have that there, but once the trauma and stuff is over, you're not in the environment that made you sick anymore, you can release the heart wall. Typically your body is supposed to do that, but sometimes you have stubborn things that, you have triggers, all of the things that just you don't want to get rid of. So anyways, so what I do is we release those emotions one by one. It typically takes anywhere from 3 to 5 sessions. Once that heart wall is gone, then it's gone forever. And those 10 typical symptoms either go away completely or it becomes a lot more manageable. So that's the gist of it. I hope that makes sense. We had some questions up here. What is the technique that you use? So I use the emotion code, and I also am certified in the emotion code and the body code. So both of them, and I use them simultaneously. But when I work with people, I typically use the emotion code first, just so you kind of have a better understanding of it all. And then once we get into the body code, then it's more of like a deeper kind of healing. So first, I like to release the heart wall as soon as possible, because it's, again, the 10 birds with one stone kind of a thing, but it's also, I believe it can help you open up to more healing. Does that make sense? It helps you feel more safe. It creates better relationships. There's so many benefits to it. So, okay, but let's say I have chronic heartburn. What do you do? It's the exact same process for every single symptom or anything that we deal with. Obviously, there are going to be some questions that need to be asked in a different way. Like when it comes to belief systems, like that's a little bit different, but it's the same concept. Do you have a trapped emotion release now that is causing heartburn? It's the exact same thing as anxiety or I believe that it's just trapped emotions, distorting your tissues, causing physical symptoms. Let's see. I hope that makes sense. Can you explain muscle testing? I forgot how to explain that. Yes. So you're so welcome. I hope it helps. You ran that through. I know. I'm so sorry. You do this on live. Yes. If she's still here, I'm still gonna do the session. I'm so sorry, Andrea. If you are still here, let's do. Are there any weird side effects? I would say sometimes processing is a little bit weird. So like becoming a little bit emotional. Yay! Thank you for being here. Some people become a little bit emotional, need for crying, extra sleep, vivid dreams. But that's only for like 1 or 2 days after. And it only happens. I want to say like 1 to 2 days after. It's really super. It's super not rare. I want to say like 20% of people it happens to. Does that make sense? So yeah. All right. So what issue did you want to work on? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you rate it? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. Yep. It's the same thing with your immune system. A lot of the times people become sick because they are either too stressed or too emotional, or if you deal with depression, one of the biggest contributing factors to depression is suppressed anger. So dealing with a lot, but the main issue is terrible brain fog and depression, rating out of 9. Okay, do you want to do brain fog or depression? Which one would you rather prefer? Yeah, there are some people who need to take a nap after and they feel so good, but then there's other people who literally feel like a boost of energy. So one more question. I don't see your prices. So, so the emotion code book, oh, lots of questions. Hold on, here we go. Brain fog is 37. Brain fog, and it's on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate the brain fog? You said a 9, correct? A 9. Okay, perfect. So the first session is $39, and that's just for the introductory session. And then I go over prices and packages based on your needs, because again, there's some people who need like 1 or 2 sessions and then they're like, okay, I'm good. But then there's other people who need like 6, 12, 24 sessions to get rid of, like, for example, like chronic stuff typically takes a little bit longer just because there's a little bit more resistance to healing to the issue. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then if like prices and packages literally range from $100 to $1,200 just to... What will $42.50 get me? An introductory session. $39 is the intro session. I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, yes, if you are interested in specific on prices, feel free to message me and I can send you like details if that's what you need. But yeah. Oh, so these sessions here are live, and the only way that I'm able to do that is if you guys follow me here on TikTok, on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the only thing that I ask that you guys do to get a session. So that's it. Perfect. All right, Andrea, thank you so much for being so patient with me. We're gonna do a quick session for you, and we'll get to it. We'll have quick moment of silence. Okay, so we're working with Andrea. She's already in the comments right now, and she said she has really bad brain fog, which is a 9, which is like a step below 10, which is really bad. So let's get to it. Let's do this. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing, actually, sorry, I forgot to say, I'm doing muscle testing for on behalf of Andrea. So I'm asking her subconscious question, yes or no questions, and I'm getting an answer on my fingers. So when your fingers stay together like this, then it's a yes. And if it pulls apart, then it's a no. And in order to figure that out, you have to like do a lot of different resistance with it, like, dial up and down your resistance to, anyways, you'll get the idea. So what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this brain fog? Maybe even out of 1, 3. And then I am just using a chart that has about 60 different emotions, and I'm just using process of elimination to identify the emotion. So so the first emotion is grief that we've pulled up, and we'll ask what is the age that this has occurred. And she said she's 37. So when did this occur? At the age of 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5. So age 25 is when it occurred. And then we'll just take a magnet, double uses, and we're gonna hold the intention to release that grief from her. Did we release that? Yes. And then that's it. We just released emotion after emotion after emotion. And we'll ask, did we release that? Yes. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this grief? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Pride. When did this occur? Age 10, 20, age 20. We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest? I will tell you after I'm done with her session. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2, 4. Panic. When did this pretend to 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this brain fog? Maybe even out of 1. Overjoy. Overjoy is actually kind of like too much of a good thing, can be bad. So we'll ask, when did this 10 to 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2, 4. Guilt. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2. Disgust. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 18, age 18. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Andrea, do you recognize any of these emotions? Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this brain fog? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Self-abuse. When did this pretend to 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Yes, awesome. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this brain fog? Maybe even 2. Nervousness. When did this pretend to 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion? All right, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then go ahead and take a really big deep breath. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe, how do you rate the brain fog? Twerk! Yes, I love it. Is your toxic relationship story based on real events you went through? I would say there are some of it, yes. Some of it is stories that clients have told me and they gave me permission to use. And some of it is just made up. So it's a very... and then there's 1 or 2 scenes that I actually got from a TV show, which is really funny. A 6 or a 7. Awesome. We'll do 6.5. That's really good. Yes, I've been able to help with grief. Yep. We can work on that. Let me ask one more. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this resistance to healing with a brain fog? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Confusion. That makes sense. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, age 27? Let's go ahead and release that. Yes, absolutely. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this resistance to healing with brain fog? Maybe even 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, age 27? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? One more time. Go ahead and take one more big deep breath. And move that body around. Good question. Very good question. Do you release past life traumas or current life? Okay, so I want to say most of the time I always stick with current, like it's always current life. But I have done what is called preconception trapped emotions. So it's not necessarily just because there's so many different beliefs on past lives. We call it preconception. So before you were conceived in this life. Does that make sense? So we can technically do an entire session on preconception. And if you wanted to like figure out how long ago it was, then we can totally do that. I'll need about 45 sessions. Oh my gosh, I love that. Andrea, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that brain fog? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. One being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. Rebecca, we did a session for you recently. Was that last week? Was that today? That was today. Oh my gosh. It has been a crazy 5 to a 6. That's awesome. That's okay. Oh, wait. It went from a 6.5 to a 6, which is great. Yay! Today. It has been such a crazy day. Like, woo! I literally did 1, 2, 4, 6. I did 10 full sessions today. Hi, Serene. How the heck are you? Let's see. Did you do it on live or private? So all of these, she did it in private. So she did an introductory session today. Oh, I'm sorry. How are you feeling? I like on live. I totally get that. Super cool. All right, so we went from a 9 to a 6 for Andrea, which is amazing. Thank God for body goat. Yes, but it still hurts. I totally get that. Can I do introductory on live? I usually like to do the private sessions for the introductory sessions because it's literally like I ask you a whole bunch of questions. But if you want, you can pay for like the session here if you want to just like butt in line. That's totally cool. I'm fine with that. Let's see. All right, if you'd like to enter to win, sorry, I didn't answer this. You're welcome. If you'd like to enter to win, just click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. And I just pick people at random. It pulls up on a list here and it, oh my gosh, what do you call that? It pulls up on a list and then I just like copy and paste the link. Copy and paste the list into my random name picker. What is happening today? So sorry, you guys. It has been a crazy day. Words are hard. I need to change that. Words are easy. English is easy. I know it's been a long day. I got up earlier than I usually do today. My husband usually lets me sleep in, but today was like an earlier day. So I didn't get to sleep in as long as I usually like to. He gets up with the kids and he's so nice. I love my husband. Yes, sign up for a free session. Perfect. So if you'd like to enter to win, just click on the link in my bio. I see you on there. Click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. Live TikTok session giveaway. Dun, dun, dun. I wonder if I can, oh, they don't have it on here. Poop. Mm-hmm. I wonder if you can, oh. I love it. I did it. Look at that. Yay. How funny is that? All right, so let's pick a person. I am tired. How are you? I wonder if that's going to be on my... Anyways. Logan Kittle? I don't know how to pronounce that. Logan. I'm here. Welcome. All right, so Logan Page. That's a cute name. I am energetic. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so it is almost 10:30. Almost 10:30 here. All right, Logan, what did you want to work on today? Oops. Logan, let's see. PM. It is the evening for me. Fear. Interesting. What kind of fear? Fear of what? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that fear? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. You know what would be really fun? Yeah, you're Eastern time. I'm Mountain time. You know, it would be really fun to get your favorite creator on here and we do a live for your favorite creator. That'd be awesome. That'd be hilarious, right? Just kidding. Maybe not hilarious, but it'd be really fun to watch. Absolutely. 100% agree. 7 related to abusive relationship I left, not necessarily of him, but of starting over. Oh, I'm sorry. You said a 7. Okay, let's do it. We'll have a quick moment of silence and we'll get to it. Okay, can I have this proxy for you? And again, in order for these sessions to be free, just make sure you're following me here on TikTok, on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is the only thing that I ask that you do to make these free. And if you feel like it, go ahead and double tap that screen and then share this live with somebody that you feel like could use this type of healing. So let's do this. Connect this proxy for Logan. Yes, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even odd or 1, 3. Grief. When did this occur? 10, 20, age 20. Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this, What is causing this fear of starting over? What the hell is she doing? I am doing emotion code. What is the biggest trapped emotion release on that's causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Defensiveness. When did this 10, 20, age 20, 19, 18, 17, age 17? Do we need to know more? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that, thank you, that we can release now that's causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7? It's magic. Let's go ahead and release that. I will tell you as soon as I'm done with this session in like 3 minutes, okay? Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even odd or 1. Insecurity. When did this 10, 20, age 20? Do we need to know more? These are already resonating. Yay! That's so good. Let's go ahead and release that. So you recognize these emotions. So we're doing a session for Logan right now, and we're doing fear of starting over. And we'll ask, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2, 4. Taken for granted. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? Let's go ahead and release that. All right, be nice in the comments, please. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2, 4. Guilt. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this 10 to 9, 8 to age 8? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2, 4. Hatred. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this fear of starting over? Okay, Logan, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that fear of starting over? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. One being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. Get it, get it. From a 7 to a 5, there is a little, let's say, what's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this resistance to healing with fear of starting over? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 20, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24. I need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this fear of starting over? Maybe even out or 1, 3. Confusion. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this resistance to healing with this fear of starting over? Maybe even 2. Another anxiety. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? Okay, take one more really big deep breath. If you'd like to enter, just click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. And then I will pick people at random. Logan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate it? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. We went from a 7 to a 5 to a... to a 3.5. So we literally just cut your fear in half. And that's it. That's all we do. We just release trapped emotions and you feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually speaking. So, yes. Sorry, I'm not even following some of the comments. I'm so sorry. So before we continue, I had somebody ask what this is like all about. So as brief as I can get it, sorry, can't see the comments. Okay, so the emotion code is an energy healing technique that helps us to identify and literally release negative trapped emotional energies. You're so welcome. You're welcome. And which are harmful and negative emotions from negative past events. And these trapped emotions can, I believe, can cause depression, anxiety, physical pain or discomfort. And because these trapped emotions are made of energy, just like the rest of the body, they could exert an influence on the physical tissues, again, just causing headaches, back pain, lower back pain, pinky pain, gut issues, reproductive system issues, all of that fun stuff. So when you release the trapped emotions, it makes conditions right for your body to heal because your body's made to heal itself. And so when those trapped emotions leave or you release them, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain or discomfort either goes away completely or it becomes a lot more manageable. And that's the gist of it. I do emotion code for phobias. I love working on phobias. It's super fascinating. So can I pay for something right now? If you'd like to do, it's just a mini session. So it is like, if you want to butt the line, go ahead and feel free to Venmo me. Just Kirsten Morley. It's like just Kirsten Morley. That's it. And then, you're welcome to Venmo me, $39. So to butt the line. If not, then I'll just be picking somebody new. So, okay, you'll do that now. Okay, perfect. And then I'll just get your stuff here. I should get a notification as soon as it's done. So, sending it. Perfect. Did you find that people get completely over those phobias eventually? So I like to say it either becomes a lot more, so it either makes it go away completely or it becomes a lot more manageable. There is a good chunk, like it's sometimes, I can't give it like a percentage, but it just depends. I believe it is possible to get rid of the phobia, or at least like 99% of it. Does that make sense? That's just a personal belief though. I know there are some people who there's like a lot of resistance to healing, which is like there's like a secondary gain, like there's reasons why people, like even though you work a whole bunch on an issue, sometimes there's like a secondary gain with it. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense, but yeah. Anyways. Nope, it's just Kirsten Morley. There's no dot in the middle. Kirsten Morley. It's a different, it's me of like really smiling big, like, anyways. So, interesting. They have to believe as well. I believe that they have to be willing, at least willing. That's like if you're not willing to try it, then that's when I feel like it doesn't, not that it doesn't work, but it's almost like you're not open to healing, and so like I can't even tap in. Does that make sense? Yes, yeah, and it also works for kids as well. Yep. Yep, there can be lots of resistance, there can be blocks, lots of things. So, yep, you honestly, you never know. How often do you do it on yourself? That's a really good question. Anywhere from like a week. Perfect. Anywhere from like a week to I don't know. It's so different. It's so different. Sent. I just got it. Perfect. All right, let me hurry and look at this really quick, and then we'll get to it. All right. Did you get it done on you regularly? So I always do sessions on myself, or I do trades with other practitioners. It just depends on what the issue is. Sometimes if it's like super deeply rooted, I will have other practitioners do it for me. Sometimes it takes multiple sessions for certain things, but for the most part, I can do a session on myself, no problem. So, and then it depends on your definition of regularly. Sometimes I go like a couple months without a session, and then sometimes I do sessions like every couple days. It just depends. So Let's see. All right, Lex, let's do a session. What do you mean pregnancy? Like infertility? I have done stuff for infertility, but just so you know, like I'm not allowed to make any guarantees when it comes to anything, even pregnancy. So, yes. Oh, no, I mean, we can test it to see, but it's more, anyways, yeah, we can try it. But all right, let's do a session for Lex. Oh, Alex. Do you go by Alex or Lex? I don't even know where to start. Perfect. So we are doing a session for Lex or Alex. Alex is your name. Okay. Well, I'll call you Alex. What did you want to work on? If you can pick just your most annoying symptom or your biggest issue, what would it be? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate it? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. I should have that as part of the issue. If you could put it into one word, what would it be? LOL, good question. My biggest issue is my OCD, which I have been trying meds for that isn't working. Okay, what is your biggest symptom that is causing, or how do you ask that? What is your biggest symptom of the OCD? Intrusive thoughts. Okay. Intrusive thoughts. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. 1 being the lowest. And 8. That is really high. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll have a quick moment of silence and we'll get to it. And then just a reminder, the only way I'm able to do these sessions for free, typically it's not paid, but is if you follow me here on TikTok and follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the only way I'm able to do these sessions for free, unless you want to do a session. Thank you. Let's see. All right, quick moment of silence. All right, connect this proxy for you. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even out of 1. Heartache. When did this? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, H7. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When did this pretend to 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2, 4. Guilt. When did this occur? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even out of 1. Effort unreceived. Effort unreceived is kind of like putting forth an effort towards something and then not receiving acknowledgement for it. So what is the biggest, when did this occur? Age 10, 10, 9, 8, age 8. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even out of 1. Abandonment. Do you recognize any of these emotions by chance? When did this 10, 20, 29, 18, 17, age 17? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing these intrusive 100%? Awesome! That's causing these intrusive thoughts. Maybe even 2, 4. Depression. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release on that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2, 4. Anger. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release on that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even honor 1. Effort unreceived. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this occur? 10, 20, 7, 6, 5, age 25. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, age 10? Yay! I love that. Update on me. Anxiety has been very low since our session. That's awesome. I love that. Anxiety at age 10. Let's go ahead and release that. That's beautiful. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Nervousness. When did this 10? Age 10. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10? Age 10. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even honor 1, 3. Self-abuse. When did this occur? 10, age 10. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing these intrusive thoughts? Maybe even 2. Despair. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, age 5? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing these intrusive thoughts? All right, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, after a really big deep breath, how do you rate the intrusive thoughts? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. Yes, I see that you're on there. Sophia, I see you on there. I just have a solid like 10 people on there. I feel like I just took a Xanax. Oh my gosh! I love that. They're about a 5. Oh my gosh! For the first time in 4 years. I have to screenshot this. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. It's a lot of young emotions. Yeah. So I'm so happy for you. I'll just be straight up with you. If I were you, I would go schedule a session. You mentioned you have a lot of issues that you deal with, and just from what we pulled up today, I would definitely recommend a couple sessions, at least a couple more sessions. So that feeling is indescribable. I know, it really is. It's literally like an emotional release. It's like walking up a trail with a backpack full of rocks, and it's like taking the rocks out of your backpack and you're like, oh my gosh, I can actually walk easier now. Or it's, to me, releasing my heart wall literally felt like walking out of a bomb shelter, seeing the world for the first time in my life. Yes, I love that. I love that. Thanks for being on here. Incredible. I love that. It's like you take your first real deep breath. Yes. Does having a heart wall cause physical pain in your heart and in your chest? It definitely can. I've worked on a lot of people with heart walls, and just by releasing the heart wall alone, it's almost like relieving a lot of pressure in your chest. Is it normal all of these things has happened at such a young age? Everything is 7-8 years old. Yes. So I believe that as like in your development, I feel like age 7 and 8 is the typical time for people to absorb the most, for kids themselves to absorb the most. Does that make sense? So yeah, there's quite a few 10s in there as well. So 7, 8, 9, and 10. The youngest one was 5, which was pretty young, but kids are sponges. Unfortunately, kids are just sponges. So if you don't recognize the emotion, there was probably something happening in, your parents' lives, your any relatives, siblings, parents, grandparents, cousins, and then a lot of the times that's when we absorb the most. So that's also first and second grade. So girl self-esteem peaks at 9, so it totally makes sense. Yes, I really start understanding more at that age. Exactly. It's almost like our developmental, we process things differently, and sometimes it's easier to like let things go when we don't understand them, or it's kind of like watching somebody in an argument in a language you don't even know. It's the exact same thing. So yes, thanks for letting us witness that. I love that. All right, let's get to it. We will pick another person. And again, I'm doing this at random to make it fair for those people who have, just to make it as fair as possible. I'm not here to play favorites or anything like that. So yes, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, Lexi hands. Woo! Lexi hands. Hi, welcome. All right, so do you go by Lexi? Or do you go by Samantha? Lexi or Samantha? Lexi. Okay, we will call you Lexi then. So, what did you want to work on today? We can do anxiety, depression. We can work on anything physical. So headache, back pain, lower back pain, pinky pain, anything. Gut issues, phobias, emotions. I'll let you decide. Lexi. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that issue? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. Okay, can you pick one? Anxiety or depression? Oh, hey. An 8. That's definitely anxiety. Okay. Is an 8. That's pretty high. So let's ask, we'll have a quick moment of silence and then we'll get to it. It's your time and I booked an introductory. So you booked an introductory session? I have openings on Monday and Tuesday. What do you type? You want to know what I type? Just your information. So like I type out your name, your age, the issue that we're working on, because sometimes I have squirrel brain, and then the number that we start out on. Does that make sense? So like anxiety at an 8. And then I always type out the emotions. I'm asking, what is it that I should book? I am in Eastern time. It's almost 1 a.m. here. Oh, if you just schedule the introductory session, that's fine. That way I can just like ask you questions. Perfect. No, it's okay. Yeah, I do type it out. I type it all out because I have people like that come back and they're like, hey, I don't remember. Can you send me that session? Plus, I like to know what we release for like future reference. But anyways. All right, connect this proxy for Lexi. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2. Failure. When did this occur? Before the age of 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, age 18. Do we need to know more? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1. Heartache. When did this 10 to 9? Age 9. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2, 4. Guilt. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1. Insecurity. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. A lot of age 20. Do you recognize any of these emotions, Lexi? Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this this anxiety? May even out of 1, 3. Rejection. When did this 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, age 16? Let's go ahead and release that. Whew. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1. Heartache. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Yes, the ages are a little strange, but the emotions, yes. Okay, that's totally normal. Did we correct that? What's the biggest emotion we can release now? That is, yay, Alex scheduled a session. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now? That is causing this anxiety. Age 24 was right on. That makes sense. That makes sense. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even 4. Anger. When did this pretend? Age 10. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even our 1. Vulnerability. When did this pretend to 9? Age 9. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this pretend? 20. Age 20. Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anxiety? All right, Lexi, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around, give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it, get it, get it. It is just a refrigerator magnet, but it doubles as a emotion code chart, and you can just get those from like Discover Healing, which is not a big deal. So, have hair. All right, and then Lexi, go ahead and take a really, really big deep breath. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the anxiety? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. 1 being the lowest and 10. Yay! We literally took your anxiety from an 8 to a 3. Oh my gosh! That's incredible! Yay! I'm so happy for you. All right. Let's do another session. I feel so much better. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. I'm so happy for you. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so again, if you'd like to enter to win, just click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. Let's do this. Oops, wrong one. I am new. Hello, welcome. It's when I hear him, I gotta go to bed. That made me sleepy. I booked for 7:30 my time, so it would be my 5:30. My 5:30. Did you book it for May 30th, Tuesday? Perfect. It should show up here in a second. Awesome. All right, Sophia Sunshine, are you still here? Sleep well. Good night. All right, so Sophia. Yes. Let's see. All right, so Sophia, what are we working on today? Sophia. Oops. Anger. Awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your anger? Sophia. 25. Anger. 7. Ooh. Okay, we'll have a quick moment of silence and we'll get to it. right, can I act as proxy for you? Sophia, what is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now? Thank you for sharing the live. What is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anger? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 20, age 20? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anger? Maybe even 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? Hi, welcome. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anger? Maybe even outer 1, 3. Self-abuse. When did this occur? Before the age of 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anger? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Humiliation. When did this 10? Age 10. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anger? Maybe even outer 1, 3. Defensiveness. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anger? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, age 15. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anger? Maybe even outer 1, 3. Confusion. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? We need to know more. Let's go ahead and release that. Good question. Self-abuse is like being really hard on yourself. Does that make sense? So like, oh, I can't believe I just did that type of stuff. And occasionally, on a rare occasion, it is like self-harm. So when, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anger? Even outer 1. Abandonment. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this anger? All right, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit, it's working. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. What? This is so relatable. Is this for someone specifically? Yes, but there is such a thing called shared benefits. So if you relate to it, then you can still benefit, which is really cool. So Sophia, go ahead and take a really big deep breath. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the anger? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. So if you'd like to enter, just click on the link in my bio and click on the button that says live TikTok session giveaway. You'll be able to enter to win. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Yay, a 2. That's beautiful. Let's see. From a 7 to a 2. That's literally going from like to you know, like that was really bad. That was really bad. But that's a really, really big improvement. What are the ages? Anxiety was age 20. Bitterness at age 7, self-abuse at age 7, humiliation at age 10, defensiveness at age 20, anxiety at age 15, confusion at age 7, and abandonment at age 8. That's exciting. Yay, thanks for the follow. Thank you for the roses. That's so nice of you. That's okay. I was like, sorry. Alrighty, Rooskies. Let's do another session. And then, let's see. I was hitting likes. Oh my gosh, I've done that before too. Where I accidentally push somebody and I'm like, or push somebody's thing. Yeah. Geopath. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know how to pronounce that. Gia. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Gia going once. Thank you for the likes, you guys. That's really nice of you. Let's see. First time joining you. Welcome. We are doing live emotion code sessions. Live emotion code sessions. Gia going once. Going twice. Beep beep. Moving on. Short stack 5 even. Short stack 5 even. Brittany. Awesome. Welcome. Let's do a session for you. So, what did you want to work on? What did you want to work on? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that? 1 being the lowest and then 10 being the most severe. Beep, beep. Guilt. Interesting. Is 30. Guilt. And then a 10. 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to do this one. All right. Quick moment of silence. We'll get to it. All right, connect this I'm sweating. Let's do this. I'm so excited. This is so cool. What is the, connect this proxy for you, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this guilt? Maybe even out of 1. I'm gonna slide this over a few inches. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this guilt? Maybe even out of 1. Betrayal. When did this 10, 20, age 20? Do we need to know more? Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Do we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Helplessness. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Do we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When did this 10 to 9, age 9? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Ooh. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even outer one. Effort unreceived. When, OMG. What is the biggest, when did this occur? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, age 5. Do you recognize these emotions? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Failure. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7? All caps, yes. Age 7, do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 10, 9, age 9? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even outer one. Vulnerability. Vulnerability. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24? Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even outer one. Betrayal. When? Oh, thank you. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Failure. Oops. Ooh, betrayal. Betrayal. I'm like shaking and sweating right now. I hope that's a good thing. Definitely take some really big deep breaths. Like full inhale, full exhale, like breathe through it. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, age 8? Let's go ahead and release that. Yes, definitely releasing it. Do we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this guilt? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this guilt? Okay, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then take a really big deep breath. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe, how do you rate the guilt? Again, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. Oh my gosh, stop it. From a 10 to a 3. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. That's great. I love this dance party. Yes. Wow is right. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how you got the ages right. It matches everything. Listen, I am literally just muscle testing for and on behalf of you. Yes or no questions, process of elimination. Do you want to know something really cool? I only connect to you in such a way where I'm able to identify the emotion and the age and then release it. I don't tap into you and talk about the emotion. I sometimes feel it, but I didn't we just release it, So interesting. But honestly, I have no idea what these are about except for the emotion itself. That's all I know. So betrayal, You know, that could be like family, friends. Usually at that age, it could be like a boyfriend, a girlfriend, literally anything. It matches what I've been through. Aww. I'm so happy that you got this much relief. That's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't even ask what type of guilt. Stop it. Are you kidding me? I have goosebumps. Oh, CPS took me at 9 years old? That is so sad. Oh. Darn. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Well, now I'm crying. Oh, I'm sorry. That is no fun. Carl, I'm so happy we were able to do a session for you today. Man, let's do another. Let's do another. You're so welcome. I'm so happy for you. I'm really, like, if you decide to continue with sessions, I'm really excited to work with you. Super excited to work with you. So, yeah. Yay! We are doing the emotion code. It's an energy healing technique that helps you to identify and literally release negative trapped emotions from your body. So, dang it, I signed off for this one. It was so good. It was so good. She literally went from a 10 to a 3 with guilt. And she said every single emotion matched up with the age, and she knows exactly what every single one of them are. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so incredible. Like, this is why I love this stuff so much. Because, so here's the thing, okay? I hated therapy. And to this day, unless, like, the only reason why I have always hated therapy is because some of the things you actually have to talk about it. Like, you have to dig into it. You have to rethink about it. You have to relive those traumas. But with the emotion code, all you literally have to do is identify the emotion, identify the emotion and the age, and release the emotion, and you don't have to relive the trauma. You can just release and be done. Move on with your life. For me, and I actually had a client just the other day say that she has had 10 times the amount of relief, 10 or 100, anyways. She's had 10 times more relief in one session of the emotion code than 25 years of therapy. For me, it was literally like two sessions. I had more emotional relief, more success in two emotion code sessions than I did 6 months of therapy. I literally believe it's 10 times more effective than therapy ever is. I think therapy has its place, you know, like if you need to understand certain things, or like, hey, this is what gaslighting is. That's what you experience. I agree with her on that. I've been in therapy for 15 years. Mic drop, magnet drop. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Literally more relief. It's 10 times more effective than any therapy session can be. 100%. Like, this is why I love doing what I do. Absolutely love it. So, I wouldn't be able to remember ages for myself. Does that make a difference? Absolutely not. No. There are people that I've worked on that they have no idea what the emotions are. They have no idea, but you don't. Okay, so the cool thing about this is that even if you don't recognize the emotion, you still get the relief from the release. Does that make sense? So, I know, I'm so happy for her too. I used to have anxiety just thinking about going to my therapy appointments, and then after I would be a mess. That's the thing. It definitely affects people differently. So there are some people who love having a therapist, which perfect. You know, like there are people who love to talk and they love to be able to talk things out. I am one of those people that I need certain things to be talked about. But then there are other ways that other forms of healing that I prefer. Does that make sense? Do you get people who go back to release emotions? I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. Do you get people who go back to the release emotions? Different things work for different people. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure. So there is a select few people who this doesn't work great for because they are too closed-minded. Does that make sense? Some people say like, oh yeah, I'm really open-minded, but really they're not. So I love the emotion code. Yes. All right, let's move on. I think we forgot. Hold on. Let me ring in. Pick a new person. It's going on a tangent. I think she's asking if the released emotions come back. They do not. Nope. But you can create new emotions. Does that make sense? So if you go through a new event, that would be creating that emotion. It can create a similar emotion or like the same type of emotion. So for example, betrayal. If you broke up with a toxic ex and then you release trapped emotion, like a trapped emotion about betrayal, but then you go through a new betrayal, then it doesn't come back, it's just created a new emotion. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Do childhood emotions have a bigger effect than adult emotions? That is a really good question. I think I have an answer for you. So childhood emotions are there for longer. So if you think about it, I don't know if you've ever done this thing where if like somebody's told you to hold like something in your hands, right? If you're holding it in your hands, it's fine for short term, but as time goes on, your arms get more tired and more tired and more tired. So it's almost like the more you carry, the longer things can affect you. But at the same time, if you think about it, you are a different person holding different weight when you're older. So for example, it's a very relative question because as a child, you're holding certain things, but if the emotion is there for a longer amount of time, it affects you differently than you as an adult. But then also if you create a new emotion as an adult, you're already carrying a whole lot of stuff. Does that make sense? So I believe childhood trauma can affect you. I think it can affect you worse as like because you're holding on to it for a longer period of time. Some people don't even know that they're carrying around childhood trauma. Does that make sense? So like, but then it's kind of like as you're an adult, sometimes it's like the straw on the camel's back. So it's a very relative question. However, the weight is there. It's been there longer when you're a child. Yeah. So cool. All right, Lynn Davies. You also may not fully understand the childhood trauma until you're an adult. Ugh. I saw somebody's post today where she had a childhood trauma and she didn't realize the impact of it until she was like 35 or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's awful. So awful. Yay! The smallest thing can be a trauma and others might think it's nothing, but it's to a kid, it's huge. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I was just thinking about this. I honestly believe it is just one of those things that like Oh, this is another thing. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Lynn, I have a tangent to go down really quick. I saw a post where somebody says, I don't believe in aging. Okay, hear me out. If you think about it, all of these trapped emotions that get stuck inside of your body is what causes your body to age. When you hold on to so many emotions or too much, when you get to like 80, of course your body's going to shut down. Of course your heart is going to give out. Of course your lungs are not going to do as well. It's because you have all of this all of these trapped emotions inside of your body that's preventing your body from healing itself and preventing it from functioning 100% correctly. Exactly. And one of these days I'm going to have the perfect skin and I'm not going to have any more wrinkles because I got rid of all my trapped emotions. Listen. Okay. Anyways, Lynn, let's do light bulb. Exactly. Plus all of the toxins that are in your body, like that is what's aging us. Not existing. It's emotional trauma. It's the toxins inside of your body. It's everything. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and, Lynn, what did you want to work on? Sorry, tangent, lots of tangents tonight. What are we working on? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe, how do you rate it? Do you want to work on anxiety or depression? You're going to have to pick one. And then again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. Pay attention inwards now. I love that. Well, PAIN is an acronym for pay attention inwards now. You're so smart. Let's do this. Are you the same as a psychologist? No, I am an energy healer. A little bit different. Kind of like a psychic, but not. Does that make sense? Kind of. Anxiety at a level 8. My nose itches. Okay, so it's the one-time release. That's why there's more sessions. Yes. So Dr. Bradley Nelson, the guy who wrote the Emotion Code book, link in bio. This is not my book. This is Dr. Bradley Nelson's book. But if you click on the link in my bio, order this book. He talks a lot. Crap, what was the question? Oh, he says that there's an average of about 350 trapped emotions in your body. But then I also believe that there's inner child stuff that it's like you have to go deeper for it. Does that make sense? So, yes, and you also have different emotions causing different issues. Does that make sense? So, what could be affecting like the right part of your heart could be something else completely than the left part of your heart. Does that make sense? So there could be, and then there's also like layers. Anyways, oh great, 350. That's a lot. That's average though. That's average. Some people don't have that many and some people have a lot more. I have worked with people that have had a lot more emotions than 350. Same emotion for a different traumas? Yes. That makes us all really weird. Probably 4,000. Listen, I am here to help you release every single one of those trapped emotions if you need to. Like, I am totally here for it. The cool thing though is during full sessions, I will release anywhere from 6 to 24, 30 emotions in a 30-minute session. So we can knock through that. What's the math on that? Let's ask. What is 350 divided by 30?
The answer is approximately 11.6666.
I can release 350 trapped emotions within 12 sessions. If we did 30 emotions per session. That's quite a bit per session. So anyways, Lynn, I'm so sorry for that tangent. I really apologize. Let's go ahead and we'll get to it. Sorry, Lynn. It's okay. Could you have a lot of different emotions for different traumas? So like more than 350? I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry. Could you have a ton of different emotions for different traumas? So technically you can have like betrayal, just betrayal. I want to say like 7 to 10 times. 7 to 10 emotions of betrayal. Does that make sense? So, thank you. All right, Lynn, what is the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Confusion. When did this pretend to 987 H7? Let's go ahead and release that. Sorry, Lynn. To be correct, that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety. Maybe even 2, 4. Panic. When did this pretend to 987 H7? We need to know more. Yes. One trauma can cause a lot of emotions. A lot. And it can be layered. There's a lot of layers sometimes. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2, 4. Hatred. When did this pretend 20 H20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2. Anxiety. When did this pretend to 987 H7? I'm just thinking of just one of my own. Yes. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Stubbornness. When did this pretend 20 H20? We need to know more. Let's go ahead and release that. Yes, I am muscle testing. Age 7 is a very, very popular age. I feel like, not that I know this for a fact, but I feel like it's age 7, 8, 9 is a very transitional time in people's life. It's a very common age. So I believe it's like the development part of your brain. When you turn a certain age, like for example, age 7, you are learning and understanding a lot differently than you were the previous year. And sometimes figuring out certain information, it's probably because that's when you find out Santa's not real. Just kidding. But really, like that's when you start, like there's a developmental thing that happens around that age. Anyways, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even out of 1. Don't come at me, okay? Insecurity. When my daughter turned 7 this past November and she's changed so much. That makes sense. The 3 of my kids that have reached that age changed a ton around. Yep. Yeah. Insecurity. When did this 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, age 15? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release that's causing this anxiety? Maybe even 2, 4. Anger. When 7-year cycle. That makes so much sense. What is the biggest trapped emotion release? Oh, anger. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Do we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release on that's causing this anxiety? Lynn, go ahead and stand up, whack around. Walk around. Move your shoulders around, move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, after a really big deep breath, full inhale, full exhale. How do you rate your anxiety? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe. Could be a paid session, but what if I focused on trauma situation, not a certain emotion? Yes, absolutely. A 2? From an 8 to a 2? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. It does make sense. It does make sense, doesn't it? Can you repeat the ages again, please, with the emotions? Yes. Okay, so we did confusion. So that could be like if you've ever been lied to, gaslit, manipulated, and you're like, what is what? You know, that's kind of what that is. So confusion at age 7, panic at age 7, hatred at age 20, anxiety at age 7, stubbornness at age 20, insecurity at age 15, and anger at age 20. That's really interesting. Really, really interesting. Fascinating. Cool. Thanks for being here. You are on point. Woo! I love hearing that. You gasped about my trauma, not certain emotions question. Yes. It's so interesting. You guys have asked some really good questions today. How do you do this for someone? So there's 2 ways to get a session. You can get a session by me, I guess another practitioner, or you can learn how to do it for yourself by reading the Emotion Code book by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Obviously that's not me. This is just his book. It's forwarded by Tony Robbins. And it'll actually teach you all of the basics of what I personally do as a practitioner. It'll teach you how to muscle test. It'll teach you how to release your own trapped emotions. It'll actually teach you how to release your heart wall as well. I released, I want to say 95% of my heart wall, and then I actually had to have somebody else finish it for me. And then if you'd like to enter to win, you're welcome to do that, or you are welcome to go schedule a one-on-one sessions available if you are interested in that. The first session is $39, and that's all that is. So any questions? So yes. And then just so you know, I do have openings on Monday and Tuesday. So yay. All right, it is almost midnight. And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions tonight. Is that what you just did on live? Yes. Yes, we just released trapped emotions using muscle testing or applied kinesiology, identify the emotion, the age, using muscle testing, and then release the emotion for and on behalf of the person. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yay! So exciting. Let's see. I totally believe in this. Me too. All right. Any other questions before I go? I'm sure you have a lot of DMs. You know what is so interesting? Some people just spill their guts out in the DMs, and sometimes people just go schedule a session. So lucky number 7, and most of the numbers were H7. Yep. Fascinating. So, okay, any other questions? Going. And then I'll try and be on next week live as much as possible. Don't forget to follow me here on TikTok and Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is the only thing that I ask that you guys do in order to continue to make these sessions free. So, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Bye!